reaching up to 60 feet in length and weighing more than a fully loaded double-decker bus. The whale shark is the largest fish on Earth. Incredibly, despite all the time spent studying them, nobody has ever seen a whale shark give birth, and only one pregnant female has ever been captured. In today's video, we're going to explore the untold secrets this mysterious creature has kept for more than 70 million years. The first and most striking feature of the whale shark is its gigantic gaping mouth. Opening to a width of 5 feet, their mouths are big enough to fit a full human inside. But there's no need to be afraid, because they are nicknamed gentle giants for good reason. They wouldn't be able to eat a human, even if they wanted to. It's just physically impossible because of the size of their throat. On top of this, ordinary sharks aren't really known for chewing their food. Instead, they rip and tear off chunks of meat and then swallow them whole. But whale sharks feed much differently than regular sharks. Weirdly, they have thousands of teeth, but these teeth aren't used for feeding in any way. Despite having an enormous mouth, their throat is only about the size of a human fist. So they're unable to rip chunks of meat from their prey, and even if they could, they wouldn't be able to swallow them. It's definitely comforting to know the biggest shark in the world has no interest in eating humans. The next striking feature about the whale shark is their enormous size, which is comparable to whales. They also have a similar feeding technique as some whales and are one of only 3 filter feeding sharks. But there's obviously still a lot that separates them from whales. Like other fish, they are cold-blooded, they have cartilage instead of bone, and they have 2 sets of 5 large gill slits. They can process more than 6,000 liters of water an hour through their gills. And as the water passes through, mesh-like tissue inside the gills works like a sieve as it catches and keeps in small fish, plankton, and shrimp. In contrast to other filter feeders who rely on slowly moving through the water and allowing it to pass through their mouth and gills, the whale shark actually sucks in the water and uses its giant mouth like a vacuum cleaner, allowing them to pull in more plankton than other filter feeders. Much like zebras, the patterns of spots and markings on each whale are totally unique, and due to their large size and complex patterns, identifying and matchmaking photos of them is tedious work. To make this process easier, scientists adapted a NASA star mapping algorithm to be able to recognize the pattern of spots on sharks' skin and identify individuals based on these patterns. With more than 32,000 photos in the database and 13,000 sighting reports, tracking and identifying specific whale sharks has never been easier. It is a bit of a coincidence because their name in Madagascar means many stars, and in Javanese it means stars in the back. And so these magnificent patterns have been associated with stars long before this algorithm was ever created. Some cultures even believed the gods were so impressed with this creation that they showered its back with silver or gold coins, while others believe it is the ancestor of every fish in the ocean, and for fishermen, a sign of good fortune. And their skin isn't just extraordinary for the array of spots, but also because they have the thickest skin of any animal on the planet. At 4 inches thick, it provides essential protection and insulation, and like other sharks, their skin feels like sandpaper because it's covered in V-shaped dermal denticles, which are actually tooth-like structures. These decrease drag and help them swim more quietly with less effort. Maybe the weirdest of all, whale sharks actually have these teeth on their eyeballs. Scientists think that these offer a layer of protection, but if that wasn't enough, they're also able to retract their eyeballs. They were originally thought to have poor reliance on their vision, but these protective adaptations show just how vital their vision is in their survival. So despite everything we know about them and how long they've been studied, they've still managed to keep a few secrets. Maybe the most mysterious of all is the fact that only 1 mating attempt has ever been observed in the wild, and none have ever been observed giving birth. Although, researchers have found that 90% of whale sharks that pass through the Galapagos Marine Reserve are pregnant females. This gives some indication that they must give birth somewhere around the area. We believe they are born in very deep water, and since baby whale shark sightings are very rare, it is likely that they live at depth for several years. In 1995, the only pregnant female ever was caught and nicknamed Mega Mama Supreme because she was carrying more than 300 embryos, more than double the amount any other shark can carry. She was caught off the coast of Taiwan, which means the Galapagos Islands are not the only place they give birth. Whale sharks inhabit warm temperate areas, but they mostly prefer tropical waters. Most have been sighted in the Mexican Atlantic and around Ningaloo Reef on the northwestern coast of Australia. These sightings are usually seasonal because whale sharks are highly migratory. Currently, their migration patterns are not fully understood, but scientists believe the main reason is likely to find food. Some whale sharks will even travel thousands of miles. Swimming at nearly 2 miles an hour, they will literally spend years of their lives migrating. Sadly, despite having a global population of about 200,000, they have been listed as endangered. This is because their population has decreased by about 50% over the last 75 years. Contrary to popular belief, endangered animals are often listed as such because of a rapid decline in numbers instead of an absolute number left. A rapid decline like this indicates poor population stability. Because of this instability, whale sharks are protected in many countries, but are still the victim of bycatch and overfishing in certain areas. With more than 90,000 commercial ships worldwide, they are sometimes the victim of vessel and propeller strikes as well. Only a couple places in the world offer incredible ecotourism experiences with whale sharks, but there is a fine line between ecotourism and unsustainable tourism. Responsible and regulated practices would include no use of motorized boats, limited people in the water, and only snorkeling allowed. Previously observed unsustainable practices included scuba diving, feeding, touching, and congregations of motorized boats around the whale sharks. As more whale sharks are tagged with GPS trackers, we can better understand their migration patterns and uncover the most suitable birthplaces. This information will help us better protect and conserve the species for generations to come. With the amount of pressure we put on our oceans every day, our question to you is, will these conservation measures ever be enough? And if not, what do you believe we should do? You may also be wondering, what's with the weird fish that attaches themselves to sharks? These fish are remoras, and they have a symbiotic relationship with sharks. They attach themselves with a sucker on the top of their head and use the sharks as a taxi or bus service and clean up their scraps. In return, they offer a full dental plan, cleaning up leftovers stuck in their teeth and feeding on parasites both in their mouth and on their skin. So you can rest assured, remoras are nothing like the dreadful vampire fish, which on the other hand are actual parasites. Whether you're interested in terrifying creatures or maybe just down horrendous, you can learn more about the vampire fish in this video. Thank you all for watching.